Hello students, today we will be discussing two cavity Klystron amplifier. Our reference is Samuel Y. Liao. Now two cavity Klystron amplifier is a type of microwave linear beam O-type amplifier tube. So there are two characteristics, one is linear beam, another is O-type. We will discuss it in a short while. Now in this video we will be talking about the basic construction and mechanism and working of a two cavity klystron, and in the next video we will be talking about how amplification happens. Now see, microwave tubes are used for amplification and oscillations in the microwave domain. So one might wonder, what about IMPAD diode and GUN diode? GUN diode works as an oscillator, IMPAD as an amplifier. So what is the requirement of a microwave tube? So see, a microwave tube is usually used in a high power amplification domain. A solid state device is rather confined into low power amplification and oscillator devices. So when we talk about a high power domain, we have to discuss microwave tubes for amplification and oscillations. These are very widely used as amplifier in radar and satellite systems and so many and so forth. The most important microwave tubes are the linear beam tubes O-type. The paramount O-type tube is the two cavity klystron and is followed by reflex klystron. The advent of linear beam tubes began with the Hale oscillators back in 1935, and the Varian brothers introduced us the klystron amplifier back in 1939. In a linear beam tube, a magnetic field is there whose axis coincides with that of the electron beam. The external magnetic field axis coincides with that of the electron beam, which will be moving from the cathode to the collector. That we will see in a short while. And this magnetic field is used to hold the beam together as it travels the length of the tube O-type tubes of the tube. Now O-type tubes derive their names from the French TPO, tubes a propagation des ondes, from the word original, meaning the original tube type. So let us see the classification. We are discussing linear beam tubes O-type in microwave domain for amplification and oscillation. Now today's topic is two cavity klystron amplifier. It is not an oscillator but used as an amplifier to amplify a weak RF signal. Now we will be having two cavities. One is buncher cavity, another is the catcher cavity. Both are resonant cavities. And the first category that we will be studying today is two cavity klystron, and in the next subsequent videos we will be also discussing reflex klystron. So klystron, two cavity and reflex klystron, and in the other hand we have slow wave structures that we will discuss in some separate time. So in these tubes, electrons receive potential energy from the DC beam voltage before they arrive in the microwave interaction region. So see, from the figure it is very clear that the electron is receiving energy from this particular VDC, this particular battery. The cathode is connected to the negative terminal. That's why electrons are emitted and moving to the grounded collector in this direction in linear fashion, because we have told that an external magnetic field is there to make it collimate and move towards the collector. Now there is a shaping anodes over here which is positively charged. So the electron is moving first to the anode, then to the collector. As it travels linearly from the cathode to the collector, it interacts with two cavities. One is the buncher cavity The first one is the buncher cavity, which bunches the electrons, and second is the catcher cavity, which catches the electrons for a microwave output. From the figure it can be seen that the buncher cavity has got a resonance circuit. This is the capacitive region and this is the L region, and there is also a grid section. A grid is a perforated electrode through which the electrons can move from the cathode to the collector. So the buncher cavity is the cause where the velocity modulation will occur. Now one will wonder how the velocity modulation occurs. See, there is a microwave input that is given into this. This is the microwave input, and microwave output is taken from the catcher cavity. So this is the input and this is your output. So when we introduce the microwave input, these two electrodes works as a capacitor, and there will be an AC signal across the two electrode plates, and it will cause velocity modulation. So see what I am trying to say over here. See, the electron is traveling from the cathode to the collector. Collector is grounded in a linear fashion, and there are two cavities. One is the buncher cavity. See, this is the buncher cavity, and this is your RF input. Now, as we have produced a RF input over here, as we have given an RF input over here, so sometimes this will be positive and this will be negative, and sometimes this will be negative, and this will be your positive. Let us suppose the first case over here. So when the electrons are moving from the collector to this is the collector and this is the cathode. This is negative potential. So when the electron moves from the cathode to the collector, suppose it sees a positive peak of the positive half of the RF signal, the positive half of the RF signal. So when the electron moves from here to there, along this direction the electron is attracted due to this positive half, and along here, as this is negatively charged electrode, it is repelled. So in the incoming direction and the outgoing direction, both the time in the positive half of the RF input, the electron is getting accelerated. So the positive half will create an electron which will move faster than the electrons which is approaching this particular grid. So let us call this electron as fast electrons. And similarly, in the negative half cycle, this will be negative and this will be positive. So electron while coming to the grid will be retarded, and while going away from the grid will be attracted towards the grid, they will be deaccelerated. That's why they will be slowed down with respect to the velocity which they have approached the grid. So it will also lead to a slow electron. And what will happen if an electron happens to pass when there is zero crossing of the RF signal? As zero crossing of the RF signal does not introduce any additional voltage in the grids, so electron will move with unchanged velocities. So this will be reference electron. So we will have one fast electron, one reference electron, and one slow electrons having different velocities due to the presence of the RF input. So a velocity modulation will occur. and there will be a consequent bunching of the electrons while it traverses through this microwave interaction region. So let us draw the second cavity also. Let us draw the second cavity also. This is your RF output. This is your RF output. So when it comes to the second cavity, there is already velocity modulation, and in this particular drift space from the catcher cavity to the buncher cavity, there will be bunching of electrons. There will be bunching of electrons. So what will happen, that electrons will be due to differential velocities. The first electrons in the n plus 1th cycle will be able to catch the slow electrons of the nth cycle. So there will be different bunching of the electrons. So let us try to understand that the two cavity klystron will have two resonant cavities. One is the buncher cavity and another is the catcher cavity. And while the electrons travel from the cathode to the collector, velocity modulation will occur, and that will give rise to bunching effect. So in the next video we will see how this bunching effect will give rise to amplification in the catcher cavity. Thanks for watching.